Hey guys, what is up? Now, yes, Last of Us again. Been playing quite a lot of it actually, and been getting back into it. To be honest, it's a good game. Like, I was getting worn out of all the other games, like the crew and the multiplayer that never worked until apparently 2 days ago, where now I can join pretty much any multiplayer session as long as it's free for all, as long as it's PvP free for all, I can join it. I haven't tried faction versus faction. I still want to try it. Anyway, I can apparently now join any race in the crew, so that's a good development. And I play Assassin's Creed Unity Dead Kings, which it was a good DLC. Although one complaint I have to have about it is there's no there's no true extra co-op missions. Like there's one co-op mission, there's one oh heist mission, but like that's all it is. Like they don't give you a couple extras. They just say right on your few. And one of my biggest criticisms of AC Unity was the lack of co-op missions. And to be honest, they never fixed that with this. They just were lacking. But nonetheless, I got burnt out and kind of bored of those games. I was just like, I want something different. I want a different kind of game. Like obviously. So I looked at my library. My brother has Tomb Raider on PS4. He also has FIFA. I was just like, I'm not exactly a big FIFA fan. Like, I don't mind playing football. I actually like the sport football, although I'm not crazy addicted into it as most people here in England are. Like, if you're a boy in England, you'll either be crazy addicted into football, crazy addicted into other sport, or an outcast. I guess which one you think I am. I don't know why they outcast me. I just don't know why. They'll get they'll get their punishment soon. Anyways, it's like my brother has Tomb Raider FIFA, and I was just like, I've played a bit of Tomb Raider's story. Like, I think it's good, but I just don't feel right constantly playing it with my brother. Like, it's my brother's game. And I just don't feel like I should just go ahead, open the box, stick into the disk tray, like, out some kind of permission. I feel like it's just me wanting to be nice and decent. Like, I don't like people taking or using my stuff without my permission, so I like to do it to them. Treat others how you want to be treated. A classic teaching that survived thousands of years and still relevant today. Anyway, now, I wanted to do this whole match in the high school. Actually, also this whole match went perfectly for me, so I could use it. But to, I wanted to do it to just like make this big metaphor pun, like I'm gonna be schooling these developers or anyone with any kind of affiliation to Ubisoft or any big name developers. I'm going to be schooling them about the flaws they made with the 8th gen, and I'm going to be schooling all of you with the truths about about the just shortcomings of this generation of consoles so far. And I just found a point where it's just like, I can't do it. Like they've been patched to the point where it's now good, like not brilliant, like there's still problems, but it's been patched so that it's good, that's playable to a good extent. They can actually get some bang out of the bucks you spent. But I rather want to focus this more on what's coming up, because if you don't if you don't remember your mistakes, you're doomed to repeat them. And I don't think these developers are going to repeat the mistakes they made. They're not going to claim their mistakes, but when fans cry out that the game's broken or thousands of YouTube videos get put up showing the funniest and most bizarre glitches I've ever seen since Battlefield, then in fact, not since Battlefield, since Ride to Hell Retribution, although Ride to Hell Retribution was purely broken, like every little pixel of that was broken and flawed. But anyway, so I feel they're gonna repeat the mistakes. But first of all, we have to identify what their mistakes were. They released games before they should have been released. Why? Because they're greedy for money. EA, publisher Battlefield 4, and pretty much publisher most games, they just, although this is a common fact, I don't really need to tell most people about this, but for those who still don't know, EA buy up game developers, game companies, just push out sequels of massive titles out the door just to make a profit. Now, in and of itself, this method of making money is just flawed. It makes no sense. I fail to see the logic. A good game that takes years of development will make tenfold their profit in the same amount of time it took to make within a month. It would take, it will, if a game takes time to, if you actually take time to make a game and it comes out nearly perfect, then a lot of people are going to buy it. A lot of people are going to recommend it. A lot of people are then going to pass it on to their friends. A lot of people, like, hype is going to be created with the game. Then you can put any money into trailers or whatever, and then that's it. That is it. You've made your money back, and then you'll have more of it to then put in to create DLCs, and then you'll reap the money back. You'll gain more money by actually taking time at creating a game than just creating a pile of crap that hasn't been optimized and shoveling out the door. I would continue going on about Battlefield, but I want to save it for something else. I really want to do a proper go at Battlefield 4, like, because that was a deep sore spot for me, especially after Battlefield 3. Like, Battlefield 3 was such a good game anyway. That's something else entirely. But this whole issue of developers releasing games before they deserve to be out scares me, really. It actually does scare me. Ubisoft are probably the biggest culprits of the year of 2014, or so far. I mean, well, so far they're the biggest culprits. I mean, they were the biggest culprits back in 2014, and obviously no real other game has been released that I know of, because I've been too busy with schoolwork to actually follow big game news. Apart from H1Z1, I heard about that, and I heard a bit about it. I haven't heard too much about it, but anyway. Also, Dying Light, that looks sick. Anyway, what Ubisoft did wrong is they took the product, but then they never gave it to the testers and said, okay, here's some problems that have come back. We're gonna have to announce a pushback on the release date. And that's the problem, like, too many developers don't wanna announce that they're gonna push back a game's release and say, oh no, we're gonna release it when we said we're gonna release it, even if it's undercooked, so to speak. And this is the wrong kind of practice to have. Like, and I'm really keeping my eyes on Ubisoft now, especially with games like The Division that will be coming out, that will most likely be coming out in 2015. It's going to be interesting to see. Do they find any bugs or problems, push it back to maybe say early 2016 to then be released? Or do they say, no, we set this deadline on this date, we're going to release it then? I don't know. It could be a close one to see. And then, although Naughty Dog has a good track record, I'm still mindful of them because Uncharted 4 is set to come out now. Believe it or not, I'm quite a big Uncharted fan. However, I have never been able to play the first Uncharted. I've played 2 and 3. I've never been able to play the first one, unfortunately. But still, from what I played of number 2 and number 3, brilliant games. The multiplayer was quite fun. It It carried everything good over from the single player into multiplayer. It was good fun combat. And obviously Uncharted 4 with 1080p graphics, and just, it just looks so real. Like, I don't want to get caught up in the hype. I'm kind of getting caught up in it, but I just have to say to myself, no, like, Naughty Dog may be like Ubisoft in this situation. They'll let hype build up, and when they know they have enough hype and enough pre-orders or whatever, they'll release the game undercooked. So I'm actually gonna hold off on a pre-order. Like, I'm gonna bite my instincts. I'm just gonna say nope. I'm gonna wait for the game to come out. I'm gonna wait for a review. I'm gonna wait for, like, say, the first week of the game's life. If there's any problems, like, I'll expect there to be glitches in the first week or whatever to crop up, but I don't want serious game-breaking bugs, crashes, or glitches, or just like bugs that aren't even minor. They're so massive. If they crop up, then I'm saying no. I'm holding off on my purchase till either they bring out the patch. In fact, I'll hold off on the purchase altogether. Because it's not right that developers can release a crappy product unto us, say, here you go. We turn around and say, hang on, you haven't made this right. You haven't put all the time that's needed in to create this product. It's not ready. And they say, alright, we'll just release patches and patches, just, it's not right. Either release the game completed, or don't release it at all. Like, why do you have to meet a deadline? Why is gaming now about, why is, like, game development now about deadlines and making the best profit? I thought it was about creating an experience for us, the gamers, and also for the developers to actually create a product that they liked, that they actually had faith in, that they actually put their effort, their time, and pretty much their soul into making. Where did that go? Did that just decide to jump out? Did that get taken up to the top executive floor of the corporate building and say, right, fuck this, I don't want any part of this, jump out and land to a 500-foot face plant? I know, it's just, it gets to me, right? It just gets to me. So if you don't want to actually see bad games on the market, if you actually want to see good games return, which were actually created by soul, passion, or not really passion, if you actually take the problem means that, whether actually created with heart, don't support these AAA titles, actually say no to them, go look out for good games, like, find a good game actually takes some searching, but when you find a genuine good game, you will feel so good that you found it and you'll never stop playing it. Anyway, it comes to the end of the match, and I go back up for the team. And at this point, I'm wrapping it up for the video. I'll see you guys in my next video, which will probably be AC Unity, which will make me a bit of a hypocrite after doing this whole video.